How's it going, YouTube? Navy Sooner here. Is this the best 22 long rifle AR on the market?
When I'm drinking ever clear, I think I'm king of this whole world. I'm bigger and badder than John Wayne and cooler than Steve Earle. Until I wake up and I'm face down in the hall. Hey, I'm completely naked for a reason I can't recall. But I'm kinda sorta thinking that maybe I met a chick. There's perfume in the air and there's lipstick.
This is the Tippmann M4-22. More specifically, this is the Tippmann M4-22 Pro Fluted Barrel Edition. It is an AR-15 styled semi-auto rifle that is chambered in .22 long rifle. I say styled, AR-15 styled, because the action is not actual AR-15 action. It looks like an AR-15 and most of it works like an AR-15, and we'll get into all that later. The barrel is 16 inches. This is, like I said before, the fluted version. It comes with a thread protector. I can't get it off. I've over torqued it, but it comes with a thread protector, and if you want to put a silencer on this or a suppressor on this, that's what this is for. The other version that is not fluted comes with an A2 style bird cage, and you can remove that bird cage off of it and put on a suppressor if you would like. If you have a Tippmann that does not have the fluted barrel, Tippmann does offer the fluted barrel as an individual part that you can order from Tippmann, and there's a couple other websites that I've seen them on as well. Before we go any further, I'd just like to let you know that I have a Patreon and I have a Subscribestar account. I do not have any extra content on there. Someone bitched about me saying, oh, well, go subscribe to me over there. Dude, it's just a place to subscribe to me. So I don't have any content, but if you want to bitch about it, go fucking subscribe and I can put more content. Anyways, if you would like to donate to me so I can keep this channel running, because it is very expensive, and 99.9% of the money that is used for this channel comes out of my own pocket. I get like $13 a month in donations. That's it. So if you would like to donate to me, you can go to my Patreon or my Subscribestar. Both of them are Navy Sooner. Links are down below. If you do not want to have to do a subscription style service and you would just like to donate to me one time, then I also accept PayPal. To be able to send money to me in PayPal, you use my email address, navysoonerchannel@gmail.com, and it'll send money straight to me. In the Tippmann M4-22, both the upper and the lower are made out of aluminum, giving it closer to the AR weight, which helps out immensely when it comes to training. All the other AR-22 long rifles, they use plastic receivers. There are some like uppers from Palmetto out there. They don't even make those anymore. I haven't seen one on Palmetto's site, but like CMMG, they use like regular AR-15 uppers and lowers, but I'm talking about full built AR style 22 long rifles. The bolt hold open or bolt release, whichever side you want to be on, does work. And if you want to argue about it being a hold open or a release, I don't give a shit. It's both. The paddle is over here and it's in the same spot and it completely works. As well, the forward assist works completely. There is a spot on the bolt where it does hit into, and it actually works. Most AR style 22 long rifles do not actually have this work. Some you can press it in, some it just looks like it's there, and some they don't even put it on there. But this one, you can actually press in and it actually does something when it comes to the bolt. Let me see if I can get it to sit back. Yep, see? Pushed it forward. Anyways, the ones on other firearms that you can press in, they don't actually work as a forward assist. And there's people out there that want to bitch about forward assist as well. I don't give a shit. I like them. If you don't like them, okay, whatever. Moot point. Doesn't matter. The handguard, though, is not made out of metal. It is made out of plastic, which if they could have done something with metal, that would have been nice, because it would have even added more weight and more realism to when you're training with one of these. It is M-LOK. The older versions of the M4-22, they had a quad rail for it, and then I believe they had like the traditional crappy plastic handguards. I do like that the M-lock goes all the way around rather than just at the 3, 6, and 9 positions, which I've said in many videos before that I prefer that M-lock goes in the between positions as well. It just gives you more options for installing stuff onto your rail. Tippmann sells a bunch of different models of the M4-22 that come with different lengths of the handguard. As well, if you don't like the length of your handguard that you've purchased, or you can only find one and you don't like its length, then you can go online and purchase these handguards online from Tippmann, as well as other websites that I've seen them on. They say that the trigger group is a mil-spec trigger group and that it pulls at 4.5 pounds. I've never seen a mil-spec trigger group pull at 4.5 pounds. So, I mean, what they mean by it being a mil-spec trigger group is that you can put any other trigger in here that you would like, other than a trigger that you'd have to change out the safety, and we'll go over that later. They say that the trigger is 4.5 pounds, which every time I pulled it on my gauge, it was 4.5 pounds. When I was actually shooting it for groups, it felt like it was inconsistent at 4.5 pounds, but that could just be me being a little bitch. If you see here, it's got no take up whatsoever, just breaks. It's a very nice trigger. 4.5 pound trigger pull. I mean, for what you have in this rifle, it's nice. Like I said before though, you can put in whatever trigger you would like, as long as it's not one where you have to change out the safety. Now, since I was talking about the safety before, the safety is a proprietary part in this gun. You cannot change it out. You need to use this safety. I believe that Tippmann or someone else makes another safety for this, but it is basically the same design internally. You cannot put like a Raptor safety in here, and because the binary triggers need safeties changed out, that you can't use a binary trigger on this gun. Getting to the charging handle and the bolt carrier. The bolt carrier and the charging handle are completely different because it's a completely different internal system, but it still functions like a regular bolt carrier and charging handle as if you were shooting a regular AR-15. This one is kind of a mil-spec style looking charging handle. Tippmann does sell a extended charging handle that also doubles as an ambidextrous charging handle. Most of the magazines that come with these guns are 25 round magazines, but they do sell 10 round magazines for those of you that hate freedom and don't want to leave certain states. So you do have 10 round magazines for those. The magazines are completely drop free. So that's really nice. Most of the 22 long rifle ARs out there, the magazines do not drop free completely. The Smith & Wesson 22 that I had, the magazines would not drop free, so you'd have to pull them out on your own. Sometimes they do drop free, but for the most part, the Smith & Wessons do not drop free. The nice thing about these magazines is even though they look like they're AR style, you can press a button right here and it pops out. Oh, you can take it all the way out, or it has a little stop here, stop there, and it has pull-down tabs. It has pull-down tabs right here. That way, when you're loading, you can pull it down. If you're only doing like 10 rounds at a time, it's not that hard, but when you get down to like 20 rounds to 25 rounds, it's kind of difficult, so you want to use these tabs. If you think you're manly enough to be able to push them all the way in with those little 22s, then by all means, screw that. This is nice because most of the other ARs that are 22 long rifle, the magazines just have this follower on it. They're not covered up and dirt and grime can get in there. So it's nice that you can put it down into this and it actually looks like an AR-15 mag. The buffer tube on this is mil-spec style. I say style because it's not a completely mil-spec buffer tube, and I'll show you that in a second. But I changed out the stock that comes on it, which is an M4 style stock, to this MOE from Magpul, which is much nicer than those M4 style stocks. The reason I say it's only kind of like a mil-spec buffer tube, because here the recoil spring inside of it is different. It's got like a hole here, and there is no stop like a typical buffer spring would have, and it's not a completely and it's not technically a complete mil-spec style buffer tube. You can remove it the same way with castle nuts, and you can put on different end plates, whatever one you would like. The grip that comes with it, it says Tippmann on it, but it is very similar to a Magpul MOE grip. It does not have the storage in the bottom, but it is very similar to a Magpul MOE grip. I don't know if you can change out your grip because I don't know how the safety works in there, and it being proprietary. So it coming with a grip that's like an MOE grip is very nice. One extra thing that it comes with are flip-up backup sights, which is really nice, and they're similar to the Magpul flip-up backup sights. It's nice that they come with it. That way, if you don't have a scope or whatever, you have these to work with, and you don't have to go out and buy any if you're running a red dot for training. Something interesting about these is you don't even have to flip them up to use them as sights. I don't know how much adjustment you can do, but there is a notch here and there is a post here in the front, which is kind of cool that you don't have to even flip them up. But if you have an optic on here, you do, and I think that's just kind of gimmicky in the first place. But I mean, it's cool, I guess. I'm currently running my primary arms one-time prism scope on this with the ACSS Cyclops reticle. I have used many different optics with this, a red dot. I used a 4-14 primary arm scope to do my groups with, and after I get done with this video, I'm probably going to remove this and put on an LPVO, because I just got a new LPVO in for my other rifle, and I'm going to use that one for this. See how it goes. I did shoot groups, and I shot them at 50 yards because that's what I want my 22 long rifles to be sighted in at, and it did pretty decently. A Federal bulk pack that has 36 grain hollow point rounds, I got a 1-inch group with. CCI mini mags was surprisingly not very good, and I got 1 3/8 inch with it. I have Remington 22 Thunderbolts, and those got a 1 1/8 group, which I was really surprised that it did better than the CCI mini mags. The Gecko semi-auto 40 grain, I got the best group out of, and it was a 1/2 inch group. So it's just under MOA. I had Federal high velocity match rounds that were surprisingly the worst rounds that I used in this gun when it came to shooting a group. I got 1 5/8 inch group out of it. Then I had another Federal bulk pack that was actually 40 grain lead bullets this time, and the group was 1 1/8 inch. While there was only one group that was an MOA group, this gun in someone else's hands could make better groups. I have no doubt about it. Even 22 Plinkster has shown, even in 22 Plinkster's video using the regular non-fluted barrel that is supposed to be less accurate than the fluted barrel, he got really good group. He got decent and pretty good groups for him. Actually, he does really good groupings, and he got a better grouping than I did out of that other barrel. So like I said, if it is in somebody else's hands, they could get better groups. And none of the rounds were actually so bad that I couldn't use it as a squirrel getter. In fact, I have used it as a squirrel getter, and I've had some rabbits that I've taken with it, and I made some squirrel and rabbit stew. It's pretty damn good. So you can even use this as a hunting gun. So what do I think of this gun overall? The fact that the last ammo shortage was 22 long rifle, I bought a shit ton of 22 long rifle when it became available. A lot. I mean, ungodly amounts of 22 long rifle. And now that we're having a shortage on 5.56 and I can't train as much with my 5.56, this has taken its place. And the fact that it has similar weight and everything functions as if it were a regular AR-15, then that's awesome, because this gun was so much fun to shoot. I've done a lot of training with it since I've purchased it, and I'm going to continue to do a lot of training with it because of the ammo shortage. Couple this with a 22 long rifle pistol and you've got yourself a great training day. You may not get the same recoil impulse, but you still have everything else that functions just like an AR-15, and then like say my Taurus TX-22, it functions just like a striker-fired pistol. So training is awesome. So getting training in with just a 22 long rifle is cheaper, and I can do it a lot more than I would be able to with 5.56. A great thing about it being 22 long rifle is you can teach somebody that's not used to an AR-15 how to use an AR-15. Say a woman that is just scared of guns. She's not anti-gun, but she's scared of them, and it's just 22 long rifle. It's not scary. You can get your children used to shooting an AR-15 with one of these or any other 22 long rifle AR, but this one functioning exactly like an AR-15 is perfect. Not the bolt, obviously, but everything else functioning just like an AR-15 is great for training people like that. And people that are scared of muzzle blast or being too loud or whatever. It's not loud at all. You can just use it as a plinking gun, just going outside and having fun, which 22 long rifle is just fun to shoot. As well, I told y'all before that I have taken game with it, so you don't have to worry about if you need to go get another 22 long rifle gun like a bolt action or a 10-22. You can have all in one gun. You can use it for shooting squirrels, you can use it for training, you can use it for teaching people, you can use it for plinking. This gun, this Tippmann M4-22 is by far, in my eyes, the best 22 long rifle chambered AR style gun out there. One last thing, there is also a pistol version for those of y'all that want to train using your SBRs or your pistol ARs. You can get a pistol version of this and you can train with that. Well, I think that's enough about this gun. I love it. I recommend it. Navy Sooner out.